If you can mention also, Duncan, if there's new people on the call, that we've got a little chat room, and show them where that is or tell them where it is.
Good point. Yeah, we have got a chat box. So if you want to ask a question, if you're too shy to ask the question openly to everybody, there is a chat box there, and Sean will very kindly read out the questions. Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Duncan Wood. I'm calling from North Wales. That's where I live. Just to give you a brief background about myself, I've made a full-time living, started off with network marketing for quite a few years, but that led me to online marketing with various companies, mainly in crypto, but I've been in every type of business you could ever imagine. Some of them have been fantastic. Unfortunately, sadly for the people that got involved, including me, a lot of them aren't around today. I actually did extremely well in many of them, but last year, 2018, was actually the worst year I've had for a long, long time. For various reasons, companies letting me down, companies folding, over-promising, under-delivering it, you name it, I've experienced it, probably like a lot of people on this call today. And I got to a point last year where I was literally counting the months because there was more money going out than coming in, and you can only survive so long when that situation starts to occur. I looked at everything I was doing and nothing really was going to change my situation, nothing that I was involved in. And a very good friend of mine, John Van Dersen, who lives in Canada, sent me a video. It was actually with a previous company, but very similar to this, only similar in the concept. I watched the video. I shouldn't have watched it that day because, to be honest, I wasn't in a good place. And he, thanking him, sent me a text message about a week later telling me that he'd been in this system for 16 days and had received in the bank, I think if I remember rightly, it was about 56,000. Well, I don't know about you, but 16 days, I had to call him. I had to find out more about it. And all I can tell you is I joined that night. I actually sent two donations, one to John, one to Joe, who we're very fortunate is going to give a testimonial and have a little chat with us tonight. He is waiting to speak. And I started literally the next day. And all I can say, it is one of the best systems I have ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything quite like it. This company, IMPACT101, came about by accident. I actually got talking to the owner by accident, and he decided to take some action because the company that we were with had issues with the site and various other problems which weren't getting sorted. Support, we've probably all experienced it in the past. And Frank, the owner of IMPACT101, decided to do something about it, and he did. And this company was launched literally, I think it's 21 days, might be 22 days ago. So I'm here tonight to tell you what IMPACT101 is, what it's about, what's in it for you, and how it actually works. So that's me, Duncan Wood, and we're going to go through a brief introduction and a short presentation. Hopefully everybody on this call has watched the short video and at least has some idea of what this call is about. But first of all, let's look at crowdfunding, because the very first person I spoke to about this system, this is what he said to me. He said it was illegal. I knew he was wrong, but I needed to confirm that I was correct and he was wrong. So I called my own solicitor and did my own research. And I suggest you all do, because there are actually 4 types of crowdfunding: loan-based, internet investment-based, donation-based, and prepayment or reward-based. And you will find that loan, investment, and prepayment are all regulated and should be regulated by the FCA in the UK, which is the Financial Conduct Authority. And peer-to-peer crowdfunding, and that's exactly what my solicitor asked me. He said, what type of crowdfunding is it? And he came back 2 days later and proved my friend wrong, and I was totally right. This system and the system they use, crowdfunding, and the grid system that you'll see in a minute, is totally legal in every country throughout the world. So don't listen to what friends tell you. Often they give you an opinion, often of something they know nothing about. Now, why is crowdfunding growing so big? Well, there is one reason: the crash, the banking crash in 2006. And we're still experiencing now, or feeling the aftermath of that. And if you think that is the last crash, I would think again, go and do your own research, but the banking system is failing people. People have lost trust in it. They don't even lend money now, and it's doomed for failure. So the banks have caused the problem. There is a major problem in the financial system. It's not working. People are fed up with it, and there has to be a better way. Imagine if you had no debt. Imagine if you could generate revenue without borrowing money and without having to pay interest on it. As I said to you before, banks don't actually lend you the money. They manage securities and they just create a credit for you. They literally create money from thin air, and that's what's reducing the value of our currencies, not just in this country, every country in the world. So who is crowdfunding? Well, go and do your own research again. I started looking around. I actually knew a lot of these names, but didn't realize they were actually crowdfunding. I thought a lot of them were loan companies. But GoFundMe, you've probably heard of them, Kickstarter, Indiegogo. These are all the 8 or 10 top companies in the world. And you'll also see now social media sites like PayPal and Facebook now getting involved. Now these are the top countries, systems running right now. GoFundMe is the number one, and I can tell you the owner of IMPACT101 intends to make this company the number one system for crowdfunding in the world, and I've got no doubt he's going to achieve that. So how big is the market? Well, if you go to a site called Fundly, in 2017, $34 billion was donated through crowdfunding systems. It's projected to grow by 2025 to $300 billion. So ask yourself this question: how much of a slice of that industry would you like? So how fast is it growing? Well, according to industry experts, crowdfunding is growing right now, year on year, not just 136% per year. Now, think about that. What other industry do you know of right now that is growing at that kind of a rate? I just don't know any other industry. So have a look at companies like PayPal, the largest payment provider in the world. For a company like this to integrate a new system into their worldwide site, that is a major undertaking. It's very costly, and they will have done a lot of research. They will look at trends, and they have seen this as one of the trends they need to take advantage of. And the same with other crowdfunding systems. Social media platforms are now opening up to enable members to donate money for charitable and product-based fundraising. Facebook, this allows anybody in the world to donate to any cause that you want to create, and anybody can crowdfund. You don't have to be a big company to get donations. You don't need to be a charity. The only thing you do need to be is 18 years old or above, and you do need a computer and a phone. And as I said, this is available in any country in the world as long as they have internet access. You can see here a father of two in the UK was broke, wanted to raise some money to look after his family over Christmas, and he raised over 2,000 in just a few hours. So crowdfunding works. It's a system that's been around for thousands of years. So who is behind Impact 101? Well, it's this gentleman, Frank. I actually got to know Frank by accident. I needed to send him a donation in the other company. And I can tell you, I messaged him because I was sending him a donation using Bitcoin. And he had a system. I didn't know where he'd got it from, but I messaged him and said to him, Frank, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I want to know, where did you get that system from? It was amazing. I won't go into it now, but all I can tell you is I got talking to Frank because it turns out we spoke to each other. He asked me whether I liked what he had developed, and I said yes. And he said, well, actually, it was me that thought of it, but it was my team of IT guys that put it into systems. So I did get to know him before that he actually launched this company. I didn't know he was doing this. But Frank has been in business for 45 years. He is from a marketing and sales background. He formed Castle Rock Research BC. Obviously, he's based in Canada. And then his specialism is marketing, QR codes, and mobile landing pages. And in 2011, he formed QRGL, Marketing Incorporated, And in 2019, literally 21 days ago, he launched IMPACT101 as another arm of his company that, as I said, has been running for 25 years. So this gentleman is experienced. He has a team of people behind him. This is one of those people, Hans Luhmann. He has been with Frank together. They've been together now in business for 25 years. Hans has 30 years experience developing custom solutions for leading high-tech companies. He is on the board of directors of Link Global Technologies Incorporated, the Canadian blockchain company. And in 2011, he formed with Frank QRCODE Marketing Company Incorporated, and together and with the team of people behind them, they are focused now on this company, IMPACT101. So why this company? Well, ask yourself this question. Imagine if you'd have got involved with these names when they first started. And all these companies have one thing in common. They've all become brand name global companies, and some of them in the biggest companies in the world, in a very, very short period of time, to what history has normally shown us, where most companies have taken hundreds of years to establish themselves, and especially they're certainly not global names. These companies have become global household names literally within a very, very short period. So how wealthy would you be if you've got involved with any of those companies? Timing is everything in business. As I said, if you got involved in those companies, you'd be a wealthy man today. So the timing is right now for this company, but not just for this company, but for the fact that they're involved in crowdfunding, because that is growing massively as well. So IMPACT101 was launched on the 17th of January, literally, I think it's 21 days ago now. So this is right at the start. Could you think of a better time to start with any company in the industry that they're in? So IMPACT101 is a single platform crowdfunding and marketing system that allows you to receive half of everything that happens in your donation grids, and that can be for as long as you want. It's based on a 2x2 grid system. It is the most successful system. It's what's called a follow me system that any company has developed. It is the most successful system out there. And I can honestly say, when you understand this system, you'll have a light bulb moment. So IMPACT101 is a team crowdfunding system that provides help, not just from yourself. It's not 100% of your own efforts. You will get help from above, from you, from people you introduce, and you can literally receive donations literally seconds after registering. So it's a peer-to-peer team crowdfunding system. What does that actually mean? Well, it means person to person. So this is the key. This is what I began to understand. You're not reliant on a company where your money is sat or your commissions are sat inside that company. And if anything goes wrong, you can't get your money out. There is no middlemen here. No money goes to the company other than a license fee, which I'll talk about in a minute. That is the only money that the company ever take. The donations literally are one person sending it directly to another person's account. And 100% of those donations are immediately assigned to you. Now, this is the key difference between this system and most of the other crowdfunding systems that you'll see out there. I wanted to know what was the difference between this and what all those other companies can do, because otherwise you might as well go to GoFundMe as an example. And you will find out that GoFundMe charge a percentage from or off the donations that you receive, and some of them charge up to 12%. So here is the main point about this. One, you've got a follow me system. It means that every person you personally introduce follows you through every level through the 8 grids I'll talk about in a second. The other most important thing is it's peer-to-peer. So you're not reliant on a company. The donations are just sent from one person to another. So IMPACT101 provides you not only with a system, it provides you with your own website, with a personalized landing page, a mobile landing page. And I can tell you, for anybody on this call, that product in itself is well worth the $25 or 6 months or the $40 a year. You also get your own dashboard. It displays everything in real time. It allows you to monitor your donations literally second by second. So this is the dashboard. So when you first go to register from your referrer's link, the first thing you do is you pay for your membership. It just takes you through step by step. Pay for your membership fee, which is $25 or $40 for a year. Once you've done that, you choose the grids. I'll show you in a second the grid levels. You can start with as little as $40 for one grid. You can have multiple grids, or you could have all 8. It's really up to you. Depends on your own personal circumstances. Once you've picked your grids, you then set up your own payment methods. In other words, the methods that you wish to receive donations from other people all around the world. After that, you donate first to your inviter. As soon as your inviter has confirmed he or she has received that donation, you are then ready to send the donation to the second person. As soon as you've done that, you're up and running and you're ready to go. From that moment on, whatever you've decided to start with, whether it be 1 grid, 3 grids, 5 grids, 8 grids, that is the only amount of money you will ever be out of pocket. This is a completely self-funding system. So there's the page where you first go and pick your license fee. As I said, it's $25 for 6 months or $40 for 1 year. You can choose, this slide is already out of date, there's already now another payment method, I can't even remember the name of it, but there is another method now that you can pay with a credit or debit card, but you can also do that through PayPal, you can pay with Dash, or you can buy a token. I won't go into the tokens right now. And then what you do is you set up your own methods that you wish to receive donations, and that can be anything from your own personal bank account for wire transfer, Bitcoin, PayPal, transfer wires, or Uphold. There's various options there. My only advice to you is give as many options as you can, because then it makes it really easy for somebody to have the choice of how they are going to send you the donation. And then you can literally send the 2 donations. It'll give you all the information you need there. So these are the 8 grids. You can see them all here. You can have 1 grid. You can have multiple grids up to 8. You only ever have 1 grid running at a time of each. But as an example, you can see the $40 grid there, and you can see the figure in red. That's what $40 is what you donate, split half and half. Half goes to one person, half goes to another. And the figure in the red is the amount that you will receive from the 6 positions below you in each grid. Now, as I said, those positions can be filled by your sponsor, you, or people you introduce. It's a mixture of both, and it can happen very quickly. The $80 grid, exactly the same. They are all exactly the same. The only difference is you do the same thing as you do in the $40 grid, but you are now receiving larger amounts. You're donating more, but you're also receiving more. Every time you are actually receiving 3 times what you donated. And that can literally carry on and on and on for as long as you want. So basically the system is, you first of all donate, you give, and you shall receive. So you donate first, you share it with other people, and you receive. And once each grid is finished, you donate again and you receive, but you're always receiving more than you're donating. So this is the grid. As an example, there's you at the top. You might, as an example, introduce Sue yourself, okay? And then what your job is to help Sue find 2 people. Bill could have come from above. It could be you that introduced Bill. It really doesn't matter. It's exactly the same result. Let's say, as an example, you introduced Sue, and Sue came from your sponsor. Sue now introduces Sally on the left underneath her and Jack on the right. What does Sally do? Sally donates half the donation in the level of that grid to Sue, and half goes to you. Jack now comes in. Sue introduced Jack. Jack now donates to Sue, half in that grid, and half goes to you. Bill, you didn't introduce, but your sponsor introduced. But Bill has to donate to you, and Bill now introduces Tom on his left and another person, let's say, on that position where it says empty. as soon as those people come in, they donate half to Bill and half to you. Takes a little bit to understand, but believe you me, it's very simple, it's very fair. One of the questions I asked is, can anybody position anybody wherever they want? Because this was quite important, because if they could, that means people would fiddle it. No, they can't. The computer literally fills the left-hand side first position first, the next position on the top, and then the first left position, so it builds left to right until that is full. It really depends on who introduces somebody first as to where that person drops. Okay, so let's just go through it again. So the first thing you do is register and become an active member. To become an active member, you do need to introduce 2 people. Now, you can receive donations without introducing people, but my advice is don't mess around with this. Go out and find 2 people that want to receive as many donations as they can, and just help those 2 people do the same. So there's you at the top. Your grids are empty, but let's say you invite Sue. What does Sue do? She, first of all, has to register, pay the $25, and then she donates half. This is the 40 grid, so $20 goes to you. You now help Sue introduce, well, let's say you introduce Bill. Bill donates $20 to you, $20 to your sponsor line. And now Sue introduces Sally. Sally now donates half to Sue, half to you. So even though you've just now introduced Sue, Sue has already got half what she donated back. And now Sue introduced Jack. Jack donates half to Sue and half to you. And now Sue is break even. Now Bill does the same. Half goes to Bill, half goes to you. And Dan comes in from Bill. Half goes to Bill, half goes to you. At that point, you will have received 3 times what you donated. You started off with $40. Now you have received $120. You can do that as many times as you want. So as an example, if you did it twice, you now will have received $240. At this point, you could decide, right, I'm going to do the $40 grid again, and I'm going to upgrade now to the $80 grid. The good thing is you keep the $40 grid and you have now the $80 grid, so you can receive donations from both grids. The objective is to get all 8 grids going. Imagine if you could receive donations from each of those grids. So these are the 8 levels. There's the first level, $40. You share 50-50, split half and half. $20 goes to one person, $20 goes to another. And then you're now eligible to receive 6 times $20, which is a total of $120. Now, you can't jump over, as an example, you couldn't jump in at level 4 or level 5. Everybody has to start with level 1. If you want to, as I said, you could have multiple levels open. If you can really afford it, then do it. If you can't, don't. Start where you're comfortable. There's a saying in business, don't start any business with an amount that you can't afford to lose. This isn't a business, it's a system, but it's like anything. I don't know whether people will take action and do something. It amazes me how people decide, they say they want to receive or earn income, and yet they don't do anything about it. So you can start with level 1 and build up to have level 1 and 2 and 3, and just work your way up. Once you've got all 8 levels open, every time one of those levels completes, in other words, you've filled the grid, then you just start a brand new grid and you donate at that level each time. But each time you're going to get back 3 times what you donated with. Now just look at this. You do exactly the same thing in level 1 as you do in level 8. Ask yourself this question: would you rather receive $2,400 for each person that drops into that grid, or would you rather receive $20? It's doing exactly the same thing at level 1 that you would do at level 8, but look at the difference in what you would receive in donations. So the objective is try and get in as many levels as you can, as quickly as you can. But here's the point. It doesn't matter whether you start with just one level, $40, or let's say you started with 3 levels. Either way, that's your decision. But the good thing is here, it's completely self-funding. You will never, ever put your hand in your pocket again. It is a completely self-funding system. It provides you with the donations that gives you the revenue to allow you to move up those levels. So let's just summarize it. It really doesn't matter what your background or previous experience it is. Anybody can do this. Literally anybody in the world. As I said, all you need is internet, and it literally works in any country in the world. The IMPACT system is a fully automated system that will help you fill your donation grids quickly. You don't even need to really speak to people, because the system will actually, there's videos telling you exactly what to do. So somebody can literally find your link. It could be from the mobile landing page. It could be that you sent it. It could be that you advertised your QR code. Either way, however somebody finds your site, they can't go direct to the company. They have to find or come through a link. They can get up and running and literally start receiving donations as quickly as they want to get started. It does all the work and the explaining for you. Using our system, you can create an endless stream of donations coming to you. As a member, you have a complete access to the entire system, which includes a fully customized and personalized mobile landing page, which you can send out to people anywhere in the world. We went through that last night. There was a call that Frank did, absolutely amazing. And when people understand what you have hold of here, Frank's company was selling this product alone for $250 a year. I would join this system purely for that mobile landing page, because when you realize what that can do for your business, it's incredible. Not only for this business, but very soon any business that you also do. And you now get your own personal website, just like this one where people can find and get more information and join your team. It's a state-of-the-art back office which tracks all of your donation grids, your team, and your donations in real time. And you get help and support from not only from your team, but from everybody in the organization. We run various rooms to help people. We literally do these webinars to help you, so you can literally give somebody a video, or get somebody to watch a video and then invite them onto one of these calls, and we will do the talking, answer the questions, everything else. So the IMPACT system is set up for success. It's designed to get you the results you want and you deserve. And I do understand where a lot of people are from the same background as me. They've all been let down by company after company. Yes, did I ever want to leave one company to join another? Absolutely not. The problem was the company made me, forced me to have to go and look for another company. It's no different if you're in a job and you didn't like it, or that company ceased employing you. You'd have to go and find another company, exactly the same. What I really wanted was a company to find and lay my hat on, or hang my hat on, and stay with that company forever. So the IMPACT system is set up for success. Reach out to somebody you know and ask them a simple question. You can use this method or any method. I mean, you can ask various ways, very simply, but my advice is don't try and explain this to anybody. Just use the videos, or send them your link and ask them to watch the videos. Just ask people, tell them you found a way. A lot of people are receiving lots of donations very quickly, and ask them if you sent them a video, would they watch it? Share your IMPACT101 mobile landing page with them, and they can see the 2 powerful videos that explain everything, and repeat this process over and over again. It's as simple as that. If people complicate it, they're making it difficult for themselves. Your back office not only tracks everything, you will see your donations waiting to be confirmed, and you can see a complete history of here it is here, donations to confirm and unpaid donations to be received. So everything is tracked. You can literally communicate with people that you're sending donations to, or you're receiving donations from. And there's videos there now. So as an example, here is the page. You can see there, also see the video, but you can actually read about how the grids work. And this is the full configurable mobile marketing solution, which is the mobile landing page, which you can actually advertise. If you have another business, not only can you promote Impact 101, but you can also promote your existing business, which is linked also back to Impact 101. So that's the end of the presentation. My advice to you is get back to the person that invited you on to this call. First thing is find a reason. I don't know what your reason is. I don't know what your dream is, your goal is, your ambition is. But if you've lost that dream or your ambition, now's the time to think about it again, because this really can fulfill that dream ambition. And I know a lot of people have lost it because of being let down by various companies, but the time has come to dream again. I hope your dream is big and your goal is big, because the bigger your goal, the bigger your dream or your ambition, the more you will be motivated. Learn the system. Just make a list, contact those people, show them a video and follow up. That is the most important thing. When I send somebody a video, the most important thing is not sending them the video. The most important thing is calling them or messaging them to find out, did they watch it? If they didn't watch it, this is all I say. I literally say, look, I haven't got time to keep chasing you. If you are serious and you want to receive donations, then watch that video, and if you want to know more, you call me. And literally all I will do is spend the time with the people that have watched the video, and I literally ask them, do they want to know more? So I bring them on a call like this, or I will phone up my sponsor. And the good thing is we're working as a team. Everybody in this whole company is helping each other. Teamwork works. If you're trying to do this on your own, don't. It works much better as a team. So work together and help each other. So that's the end of the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to invite a few people who have very kindly come on the call. I know there's somebody waiting in the room there, and this gentleman was the second person I ever sent a donation to. The first person was John Van Derzen, and after I'd spoken to John, I'd sent him the donation, and I sent a gentleman called Joe Mohammed a donation, who lived in Canada. And I was having a tea, this was early evening, and Joe very kindly called me. I answered the phone, and he came on, and I started quizzing him. I started asking him a bit about himself. I'm not going to say too much, but all I can tell you is Joe introduced John. And I remember asking Joe how much he'd received, because the first question I asked Joe was, how long have you been doing this, Joe? And he said the same time as John. I said, really? Okay. So I said, John introduces me, I send him a donation, and then I drop underneath you and I send you a donation. You've never met me and I've never met you. And he said, I know, it's amazing. Now, I'm not going to say any more, but all I can tell you is Joe and John are the two people that first told me about Frank and what he was doing. And Joe, are you there? I'd like everybody to hear from Joe Mohammed.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hey Duncan, can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you loud and clear. Good to have you on the call, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know where to start, but I just want to touch on a couple quick things. When you mentioned, Duncan, when you were in network marketing, how you had a horrible, I think we all had a horrible year last 2-3 years. And we had a conversation one day, and I told you, I said, Duncan, I think what's happened is the internet has shifted something that I don't fully understand, but there's so much competition, there's so much information, there's so much misleading information that it's really hard to build any business. And I think that was one of the issues we were having trying to build a business. When you mentioned just a few minutes ago about crowdfunding, how it's a new shift. This is kind of an arena. This is $1 billion arena where we are a part of it at the very beginning. So you guys that are on the call right now, and we, all of us here on Impact 101 have to understand that it's like somebody coming up to you and saying, hey, I've got this product called Apple. Would you like to get involved in it? It's almost in the same realm, because crowdfunding is becoming something very big, something that it's unheard of. And I'll give you a few stats. Like for myself, and I'm at the top of the company. I brought in John Vendors, and myself and John are working together. 83 countries in 22 days. That does not happen. I don't know what anybody says. I've done businesses in the past where we're only in one or two countries, maybe Canada, US, and maybe Europe, maybe UK, maybe Australia, some of the English-speaking countries. But to say to you that we are in 83 countries in 22 or 21 days, that's unheard of. This is what I'm saying, guys, is that really pay attention to the shift. There's a shift going on. This is the shift. You guys are part of it. When there's people that are making more money, receiving more donations right now and changing their lives or changing their cause than anything that they've done in many years, you've got to ask yourself this question. It's a shift. People are tired of companies collecting the money and then having them hold us hostage on it. We're sick of it. So this is peer-to-peer. What a concept. Person to person. I could go on about this, but what I'm really excited about is the fact that we have a system. We have Duncan mentioned the mobile landing page. Frankie has been selling this mobile landing page for $250 a year, and he's got customers all over the world, and he's giving that to us. So we have two mobile landing pages, one for Impact 101 and one for any business you want. If you've got an MLM company and you want to promote it, guess what? You have a mobile landing page. He has no restrictions. He doesn't care. It's an even playing field for everybody. What else do I want to mention, Duncan? I don't know. I could talk about so many things, but biggest thing I want to say is we are moving fast, and we are at the very beginning. We're 21 days in, and it's exciting to be here on this call and to be able to share my excitement with you guys. I haven't been this excited in a long time. We were, prior to this, we were in another crowdfunding situation, and that kind of opened up our eyes on how big this industry is, and here we are doing it again, Duncan, and it's been great. I don't know what else you want me to share, but it's
Joe, I can't thank you enough for coming on the call. I appreciate your time and your effort, and as always, thanks for your support, because you and John helped me more than anybody. I mean, it's been unbelievable. I love it. So
our pleasure.
Thanks very much, Joe. Really appreciate it. So I'd like to bring somebody else in now. This guy's from the UK. John and I have known each other for a while. John, are you there? Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Duncan. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you loud and clear. Thanks, John. John, do you just want to tell people a little bit about yourself and your experience with this company so far?
Yeah, sure. Thanks first for inviting me to the call, Duncan, and excellent presentation as always.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here this evening. Just very briefly, I've been in online business for many years now. Some good and many, many bad companies, unfortunately, but I've never experienced a business like Impact 101. It's basically a perfect fit in every way. Everything you want and need in a business is here. Obviously, tremendous leadership and support from the top. But very important to me, Duncan, is the fact that although this is a new business, only 3 weeks old now, the company is already a very successful and established business since 2011. And that's so important to me. As mentioned tonight, state-of-the-art cutting-edge technology. And when you join the company, this will soon be apparent for yourself. It's an absolute seamless process. Now, they have the crowdfunding facility to cover all levels, as you mentioned earlier, as low as $40. And I also want to reiterate the ridiculously low cost of $25. And you get this mobile landing page. This, of course, was mentioned a moment ago by the previous gentleman, but I really do believe that this will increase our market potential beyond that of networkers to business owners as well. Finally, I've not ever been involved with crowdfunding before, Duncan, but I am so pleased that you yourself did invite me to join the company, and I now look forward to a very enjoyable and prosperous future for us all, and enjoy the journey along the way, and offer the same tremendous business opportunities to thousands and thousands of others to our mutual benefit.
Good.
Thanks, John. Back over to you.
Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate your time tonight. And I'd like to also invite Sean. Sean and I, again, have gone back a few years. We've been involved in many businesses together. Sean's based in Norway. Sean, are you there?
I'm here, I'm here, Duncan. Yeah. What I'm going to say is, with this company, which has really impressed me, is like, again, the technology. It's very simple. It's step by step, and it's very, very simple. I think what people should realise as well is that looking in the back office, in the resources, switch everything off, take Facebook off, take your radio off, get a cup of tea, and go through it, because I see a lot of times people are asking the questions which are already there. You know, like you said, with the Facebook group we've got, everybody is helping each other. That's what I like about it. Even like Tammy Riggs, she's been on the side, and she's making little posters for people who are probably not techie people. You know, where they can put on the site and promote and get some what do you call it, feedback, where people say, okay, I want to know more about this business. Another thing you can do is, like I say, there's a lot of people who are not internet marketers, and with our community in the Facebook, you can put your link and say, listen, I need some love here, ask for info, and everybody will help you along. I've spoke to Mel, I've spoke to people who I haven't sponsored, they've asked me for help. We're all here to help each other. And another thing what I'm going to say about this business, for like $80, that's the out-of-pocket money. That's like if you're going to do the $40 for the year and the $40 for donations. Where in the world, in the real world, can you start a business for that much? If you can, let me know. I want to know about it. So I do like it. I'd like to say thanks to Colin, yourself, Joe, John, Frank. If I need any help, I know you're only a click away. And again, this is where we like to ask questions. But believe it or not, people are asking me loads of questions, but when they come on the site, or like you hear, they all go silent. I don't understand it. Something wrong with me. But anyway, I'm looking forward to working with you, with everyone. And of course, anybody, and Robert as well. He's a bit of a whiz kid on the old internet marketing. So follow Robert a bit. He'll give you some tips as well. So thanks a lot, Duncan. That's all I can say.
Sure. Thank you. Is it cold out in Norway?
It's always bloody cold in Norway, Duncan.
Serves you right for going to live there.
Okay, mate.
Thanks a lot, Sean. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm just going to address a few questions that people are asking on the chat room. Brian asked, when a grid is filled and another opens up, do you have to make then 2 more donations? Yes, you do, Brian. Unless you want to stop it, yes, you do. So every time a grid fills, you will have received 3 times what you donated when you started that grid, and you just start it back again with the same amount that you started with. That's how it works. So just by asking that question, you will understand. A lot of people ask, you know, is this dependent on new people? Well, I don't know any business out there, don't care what it is, that doesn't rely on new people coming in. Think about it. You know, if there is any business out there that doesn't need new customers, why are they still advertising? Why do they still employ sales teams? You know, they're constantly wanting new customers, and this system is no different. But here's the key. The people that still want to receive donations, what do they do every time? They donate 1 to their sponsor, and they always go in a new position, wherever that position might be, in a new grid, and they donate to a different person. So everybody who is donating is helping everybody already in the system, as well as new people who are just starting. So brilliant concept. As Colin said, I don't know whether everybody's looked at the FAQs on the site, but most people's questions are answered in that. So my advice is go and spend some time, like Sean said, switch the telly off, switch off all the distractions and go and focus on the site. And I really recommend to try get to know your site, spend some time on it, and then you'll understand what's there. As Sean said, I tell you what most people don't realize yet is what's coming. And I tell you, if you are excited now, you haven't seen anything yet. I am very honored to have been on a few calls with Frank. He's not ready yet to announce what's coming, but if you're excited about what you're seeing now, you haven't seen anything yet. Technology is the key, and technology is going to help not only with your crowdfunding system, but it's going to monetize the whole site and our business. So take advantage of what you've got now, build it. We're building a foundation of something huge here. Now, most people might not, especially if you're not technically minded, you don't need to understand it. But it's all, believe you me, to do with mobile and technology. And everything is going on to mobiles. If you've not woken up to that yet, you need to go and open your eyes. Let me just go through some of the questions. If you take a whole or otherwise having internet, etc. problems, there will be an admin login, payments and acceptances. My advice, Brian, the good thing about the internet, you can get practically internet anywhere now in the world, and even if you can't, you can get gadgets that you can take with you where you can access the internet from wherever you are. The good thing about this system is you can do it anywhere in the world while you're on holiday. That is my dream. My dream is to have a business, if you call this a business, because it really isn't, it's a system, but to be able to do it anywhere I want, anywhere in the world. I can take a holiday, I can spend a couple of hours working, and I can go out and enjoy myself and still be receiving donations. That's the whole dream about working for yourself from home. Can we make a date one year for a team event? Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I love that, and we'll get Sean together, because I tell you what, Sean, we've had some fantastic times together. I tell you, some good fun. So yeah, we'll do that definitely. Brian, you're asking a lot of questions tonight. So far, on average, I nearly have a donation every day and getting more frequent. With your campaign, can you get donations that are not in your grid? With your campaign? Yes, you can, Brian. So you can set up a campaign. So as an example, if you are very passionate about a particular charity, or there's a specific reason that why you want to raise money for something, then create a campaign, and people can find that campaign out of Impact 101, so they don't need to be part of it, and they can donate to it, and you can support that campaign. So absolutely good point. I'm glad you brought that up. How many grids can I have open at once? Only ever one of each level. You can't have more than two, but you can have all 8 open at the same time. I think that's it. Right, if there's anybody on the call that wants to open up their mic to ask a question, now's your chance, fire away. Please don't be shy. Or if you still have a question, put it in the chat room. But I'm just going to run through a few things that people say in general. One of them, the first thing I heard, as I said, a friend of mine said to me, "That's illegal." And he put doubt in my mind. It is not illegal. It's totally legal in every country. So don't listen to your friends. They often, as I said, give you an opinion, often of things they know nothing about. Another example is people say, "Oh, that's a pyramid." Well, ask people when they say that question, ask them, what do you mean by that? Because if you think about it, every structure, every organization, every business is a pyramid shape. There's always the CEO, the top of the company. There's the senior management, the directors, the juniors, the workers. It's a pyramid shape. Now, the difference between that pyramid and the same pyramid is in organizations such as the church, a school, a college, you name it. There's always one person at the top and people underneath. That's what people think is a pyramid. What they don't understand is that is the most unfair pyramid in the system, because think about, if you're in a job, do you earn more than your boss? No, you don't. If you ever want to earn more than your boss, you're going to have to buy the company, and that's very unlikely. So you will never ever earn more than your boss in this system. And Joe is a typical example. When I first spoke to Joe, I asked him a question. I said, do you mind me asking, can I ask you how much have you received? He said to me, did John tell you how much he'd received? And I said, yes. And John had received 56,000, and Joe, if I remember rightly, was around about 40,000. Now, Joe introduced John. So what does that tell you? John worked harder than Joe. If you work harder than the person that introduces you, you can earn, or receive, should I say, more donations than the person that introduced you, if you're prepared to work. And that's the key. If you do nothing, do you know what happens? You get or receive nothing. Now, you can receive without doing anything, but here's the but. You can receive up to 6 donations without doing anything in every grid. But if you do not qualify yourself, in other words, you haven't introduced 2 people, you will only ever do it once. After that, you have to introduce 2. Now, it can be the same 2 people that follow you up every level, right the way up to the 8 levels. If you help those 2 people receive more donations by helping them introduce 2 people and so on, you can literally move right up the 8 levels, and you need never introduce anybody else. And this is the main key. Those people that you personally introduce always follow you back into your grid. Now, when you understand that, a light bulb moment happens. I can tell you, I saw it happen. There's a very good friend of mine, Colin. I think he's on the call tonight. He is. He was one of the first people I introduced. When Colin actually completed a grid in the previous company in his first day, it's happened in the same in this company. I actually saw Colin. I thought he'd joined again because I had an email saying Colin was going to donate to me again. This was the same day. He joined at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 8 o'clock at night, he had completed a grid, and he was, well, it looked like he joined again. Now, I phoned him up. It's a true story, this. I called him up and I said, Colin, what have you done? Have you joined again? And he said, I haven't done anything, I'm out. And what had happened was we both understood what was going on. What had happened is the computer automatically opens up a new grid for me, and Colin had completed his grid. So what happens? He drops into my grid, the first position. And what does Colin have to do? Donate to me again. So when you understand this system, if you introduce 4, 5, 10, 20 people, those people are going to follow you every time, and they'll practically fill the grid without you introducing anybody. So take time to understand it. The best way to understand something is do it yourself. And when you understand it, I hope you don't sleep at night, not because I don't want you to sleep, but don't sleep because of excitement. The only other thing that other people mention is people say, how long is it going to last? Well, I often say this, nothing lasts forever, nothing. I don't know. It's like looking into a glass ball. I don't know what's going to happen in the world. Things change beyond most people's control. All I can say to you is this system, like a previous system that or company that we're involved in, can go on for years and years and years. The previous one is still going to this day. The owner of that company sold it out, and that's still running 16 years later. Now, my advice is make the most of anything that's good. You know that saying, make harvest while the sun is shining? Make the most of it and use your donations wisely. Invest it into things that generate more income for you. And if anything ever happened to Impact 101, then it's not the end of the world. The one thing I can tell you, I don't know one person that I have introduced personally that has lost a penny. Nobody. In fact, every person is in profit or has received more than they've donated. So a brilliant system. Anybody want to open up their mic and ask a question? Now is your chance. Time is
Duncan, I've got I'm not sure if you know about this, but believe it or not, you know, like I've been doing some campaigns and people have been dropping in. I haven't got a clue who they are.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this, but they can actually use the mobile app for free. Did you know that?
Yes, I did actually. Yeah.
I mean, that's another, like, somebody's got a tool there in front of them, which they're probably not going to use. Another thing I'd like to know, because what I like about Frank is that he's always asking, do we have, is anything we can add? One thing I'd like to ask you, Duncan, is when people are coming in, like underneath myself, who I haven't got a clue where they are, obviously I've got their email address and I obviously contact them. Is there going to be a system in the Impact 101 that does the auto respond to that person to either to give them more information? Any idea about that? Is that
one thing I can hint to you is, especially with blockchain technology, Frank is very into blockchain technology, and very soon we will have a system where if somebody donates with Bitcoin, as an example, you won't even have to go in and confirm you've received the Bitcoin, because it will automatically do it on the blockchain. That's blockchain technology for you. So very soon, people that choose to donate with Bitcoin, as an example, or any cryptocurrency, it will be automatically confirmed, because the blockchain checks it, as you know. You don't need human intervention, and it will literally automatically confirm that that donation has gone into your personal wallet, and you don't even need to do that. So you're right, Sean, it's technology that's the key, and technology will change things. We'll probably be doing this in a few years' time and looking back and laughing at the fact that we had to manually send a donation and manually go in and confirm it. That's technology for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Duncan.
You're welcome. And as I said before, the mobile phone, the mobile landing page, there is a hint, you've probably heard, I think Frank has mentioned it, that there'll be an app soon. Now, you know yourself, Sean, apps are amazing things. A lot of people I know haven't got their heads around it, but it is the future. It's massive market, and that is also coming very soon. Any other questions before we wrap up for the night? If anybody wants to ask, I haven't had anybody brave enough to unmute their mic tonight. I've never been on a call where nobody.
I will, Duncan.
Go on, now. Good on you.
No, I'm just going to say how quickly. I've just been looking at the back office of Impact, and there's everyone that needs to look in there, because they've just put a message out that they've set up the Facebook pages that they were talking about the other night, and the links are in there to join to get up-to-date information on what's going on.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Nigel. Just while we're talking about that, I don't know whether you know, but quite a few companies have issues with people receiving emails. Well, you won't have that problem with this company, because you can communicate, or the company can communicate with you directly through their website, and you can see in your back office whether you've got any emails from the company or messages from people you've donated to, or people you are receiving a donation from. So very soon you won't even need to worry about emails at all. That again is technology. It's making it simpler and simpler for people, so it's just going to get better as more and more technology is used to make our lives simpler and make it more efficient. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for coming on the call tonight. We are getting good numbers on the call. My advice to you is make sure the next call we have, which is Sunday night, same time, 8 o'clock, you are not on your own on the call. I'm going to leave you in a minute to go and speak to the guys up in, sat in the lounge there, looking like they're having drinks and food and biscuits, and I wish I was there, but I couldn't be there.
Yeah, we're sharing your share, Duncan, don't worry.
Hey, Duncan.
Hi.
It's Ken.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
I'm okay, Duncan. I was just listening to Sean and talking about technology, and you talking about mobile apps coming up. And just to remind guys that, you know what they say about smartphones? Unless you're making money out of them, they are not smart.
Absolutely, good one. I like it.
unless you make money, they are not smart enough.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole idea.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ken. The future is mobiles. Everybody knows that, whether they like it or not. That is it. And my way of looking is take advantage of that, because that's where it's going.
That's right.
Yeah, that and crowdfunding, two massive growing industries, and we can take advantage of that. I don't know whether everybody's looked or set up the landing page, sorry, the mobile landing page, but you can have it on your phone, and you don't need business cards anymore. You can literally use V-Card. That will literally send somebody anywhere in the world all the information you need, your email, your phone number, and also at the same time you're advertising Impact 101, or you could be advertising any other businesses, as we've said. Absolutely amazing. That's the future. If you're unsure about it, get back to your sponsor, or go and listen to the videos. And listen, I'm not a technical person. I really am not. I struggled. I looked at the information about how to set up your mobile landing page. I just went, as Sean said, I just decided to focus on it, went to the instructions, and I did it. Now, if I can do it, anybody on this call can do it, and I mean that. A lot of people laugh at me and said, use Duncan. If he can do it, anybody can do it. And they're right. So anyway, we're going to finish now. Thanks very much, everybody. Hope to see you on the call next Sunday, and I hope to see you there with at least 2 or 3 people on that call with you. That's how you build this business. That's how you promote it. Don't complicate it. Keep it simple. And we'll open up the mics, and if everybody wants to say good night. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.